It's always interesting when women from your past who were maybe playing games or being inconsistent or inconsiderate or anything that had to do with manipulation or deception, all of a sudden find you to be healthier, more well off, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, and spiritually altogether. You are entering that godlike mastery phase of your life in which things are starting to come together. But you're not showboaty about it, you know. You're not trying to make it known that, oh, I'm amazing. You know, you don't really shout it out, but if somebody asks you how things are going, you're just able to say, yeah, you know, like something like this, right? Something like, well, I'm able to just enjoy my life so much that I don't really need a vacation. You know, people will get upset about that. And if a woman hears that from your past and she's like in your vicinity, all of a sudden she's going to have a problem. And she's going to want you or she's going to try to destroy you. That's really the two options there. And you've got to be mindful about this because you don't really want to anger a woman unnecessarily. And the reason why is because, as the saying goes, it's like, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. It's not that women are more powerful than you. Don't get that. That's not what this is about at all. It's that they can make up stories or they can try to destroy your reputation and do crazy things. Now, me, myself, as part of godlike mastery and seeing the soul of existence in everyone and everything, I am not tied to my reputation. I don't feel as though I have a reputation to uphold. But I do, however, understand and understand that there's a use for this in the plane of consciousness that is the earthly domain that we occupy in this physical body. So with women, it then seems to be the case that if we are to see these women for who they truly are at the soul level, then yes, we can love them, we can appreciate them, we can see their divine essence, and yes, we can love that part of them for sure, because that's really who they are. But recognize that they don't realize that they're still human. A lot of these women are not realized in the self enough to see that they're capable of destruction just as much as anybody else. And in fact, I would say that women are more manipulative on average than men. This is just my experience, and really, I don't even want to like soften it with, oh, this is just my experience. Because it's not, like, it is my experience, but it's also, it seems ontologically the case that this is the case. It's not even seemingly ontological. It is ontologically true that women are going to be more deceptive. They have to be. Think about all the times where women have been acting weird around you. Like, if a woman watches you get blessed, now she's acting weird. You know, it's usually like she really wants you now, or she's like trying to figure out how to plot against you. And the only thing that we can do as men, as godly bad boys who are propelling us and ourselves into godlike mastery, into a regal feeling and sense of the word. There's like two flies and a bee that keeps flying around here. Notice that and don't be, did you see that? That bee just like landed on my finger. But the point is like, there's a reason why these things are happening. In the past, I've always had, when I'm making videos, whenever I'm talking about the not so great side of women, usually there are flies that come out. And it's it's interesting how that works, right? Because that's a message from the universe, you could say. That's a message from the universe, and we're not to be blind to these things, you know, but also simultaneously we are to just carry on, ignore reality and have fun. But going back to, well, still kind of on topic, but just kind of meandering around a little bit, giving it some substance, some zest, some life. The chef's kiss. It's more about recognizing that these women, they're going to feel a certain way when they start to see that, like, oh, I bet on the wrong horse. Because that's really the way that women see men. They see us as like a horse race. And they want to bet on the horse that's going to win. And they don't really see us, most of the time, women in general, unless they are fully self-realized, or even just realized in a little bit, they don't see us as human beings. They don't. And I'm not saying this to be derogatory toward them. I'm just saying that that is the case. They do not see us as human. Like, have you ever thought about the times where, you know, you say something and you're talking about what women do, and then women say, oh, but men do this too. And you're like, okay, yes, but we're not talking about the men right now. We know what we know about men. We're talking about the women. It's like they don't want to be held accountable together. Hello, Mr. B. It's just chilling out. That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's just the case. What is it doing? It's like, is it like eating my sweat or something? Can bees do that? I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of distractions trying to pop up in this video, which tells me that there's something deeper going on here that needs to be addressed. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, the women that are around us, they don't see us as human, really. They just don't. And how could they? They've been taught to see men as certain ways of being for so long. They don't see the spirit of a man until the man has fully embodied his spirit. If the man has not embodied his spirit, the woman is not going to be able to see what's really going on. She's going to be completely subjected to her programming of what a man is supposed to be. Like, most of these women, they don't see men as men because they've been programmed that way, and they believe their delusions because they're so blind spiritually. And we can't get mad at these people, right? Like, this is something I realized about myself recently. Was I had an ego flare where I noticed my ego was like trying to make people see who were blind. And my ego's like, why can't you just, like, what is going on here? Why can't you just be who you're supposed to be? And even when I noticed that, I was like, okay, that's something to take note of, because that's not necessarily going to be conducive toward a healthy state of being, simply because you're trying to force somebody to be something that they're not. That's not actual unconditional love. So to embody unconditional love, we're not trying to fix women. We're trying to hold the space for them and be the example so that they don't act weird around us when we're getting our blessings. You know, that's really the main thing that I want to get across in this video. So, not a super long video this time around, but it was a very powerful video, filled with a lot of things, different things trying to distract me. So definitely a sign that we're on the right path. It's been a weird day, you know. It's just been a weird, strange day. People are crashing out. It's very strange. But then again, it's, you know, it is what it is. So if you're ready to make that godlike transformation and you want to go deeper into these types of topics, or just in deeper spirituality topics in general, if you're familiar with my content, join the Regal Academy or sign up for the Godlike Mastery Initiation program that I have, because that's where If you are really ready to make a financial investment in which, you are totally transforming your life to ensure that you're in a system that helps you get out of systems, that's what the Godlike Mastery offers for. So, peace be with you all. Be blessed. Until next time.